Klay takes an off-balance three. It's nothing but net. Largest lead of the night for the Warriors is right now. Golden State 105, Minnesota 99.
Tim Roy on the call right here on 95.7 The Game. And, oh, baby, the Warriors absolutely still won last night at Chase Center against the Minnesota T-Wolves. I thought the game was over about 5 different times, but Klay Thompson, Dante DiVincenzo, Loon Dog doing his thing. All 5 starters scoring in double figures last night as the Warriors win their second straight and go a game or get a game above 500 at 31-30. And look, man, they're still in the box to play in tournament, but you know what? You feel good for a day. You feel good for a day if you're a Golden State Warriors fan. And I know there was a lot of doom and gloom on the show Friday. I feel a little bit better this morning, Shasky.
I feel a lot better. What are you talking about? That felt like a week's worth of games packed into one. Crazy emotion. The end of that third quarter, if I would have just take the temperature of Warrior fans and the organization, I was so angry. Yeah. So angry at the end of 3. Like, oh
you
my.
were angry?
They're down 9.
Yeah, but why were you angry?
The final 5 minutes, I don't think they scored.
Why were you angry?
Because it was like, come on, you're at home. We got to get this. They don't have Karl Anthony Towns. Like I was expecting. Edwards wasn't playing well. I thought that was the kind of game that they needed.
Naz Reid killed him for the second straight time.
Naz Reid looks like Wilt Chamberlain against him.
Listen, Naz Reid's a good player. You guys were laughing at me back on February 1st.
Who was
with
laughing
Naz Reid? Undrafted out of LSU. This guy's a player. He's gotten himself into shape. He'd be a perfect warrior. Coming off the bench,
a great warrior.
Man, I mean, this guy could do it all. 3-pointers, dunking, or whatnot. But I went to the game thinking like this, Shasky.
What's that?
I was bracing myself for an L.
Why?
Because no Draymond Green. No Andrew Wiggins. No Stephen Curry. Of course, GP2's out. We don't know when he's coming back. And no Andre Iguodala. And Minnesota coming off 2 straight losses. Now they've lost their 3rd straight. They're just a lot better than Houston. They're better coached. They have better players.
Agreed.
They have a better system than the Houston Rockets. And the Warriors didn't, I know they nailed the 3-ball Friday night against Houston, hit 26 threes, but they had the 19 turnovers. They got outscored in fast break points, second chance points. It was like, all right, you just take the win. You just take the win and you move on. But I thought, man, it's going to be an uphill battle playing Minnesota. And the first quarter played out like that.
Damn.
I mean, Minnesota was up 23-9 in the blink of an eye. It's like, boy, this is how it's going to go.
Kirk called the timeout in like 5 seconds into the game.
I mean, they were down 7-0 right off the rip.
I know.
So, end of the third quarter, I'm thinking, you know what? The score is appropriate because the Warriors had no business leading at the half. No business.
I'm in agreement with you, but they fought so hard to get back, and it felt like that second half of the third quarter was so bad. I mean, Bonte, it was so bad, and they gave up a couple buckets late. I think they went scoreless. I swear they went scoreless for like 5 minutes.
The third quarter was long because Tony Brothers and Natalie Sago, 2 of the worst referees in the NBA.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Tony Brothers, the game lasted, I think it lasted like 2 hours and 45 minutes. It was a long one. It was a long one because of Tony Brothers wanting to stop the rhythm and stop the flow.
Well,
and Natalie Sago's DiVincenzo at the end of the game is getting mugged right in front of her. She calls nothing.
How about the Austin Reeves head bob back where Jordan Poole didn't or Austin Rivers, excuse me, doesn't even touch him, and he just fades, and then the crowd sees it, and then the crowd is giving Tony Brothers smack, and he smiles like he's a WWE villain.
He's also smiling, but he's also looking at Jordan Poole because Jordan Poole's looking at him, and Tony Brothers was waiting to give him a technical. I watched Tony Brothers because I was in the tunnel in the first quarter. I watched Tony Brothers run down the court looking for somebody mugging at him.
Really?
To give a T. Oh, that's what he does. He takes things personal.
See, that's awesome that you get to see that because, like, it's so hard to focus on just the referees when you're watching on television.
It was a terrible call.
It was so
just
bad.
a bad call. But after 3, I'm like, all right, they're dead in the water. I mean, they just don't have enough.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole struggling. He goes 5 of 20.
What is going on there?
Klay Thompson was doing his thing, but I'm like, it's just not enough. And then you get to the fourth quarter, they're down 94-84, and I'm like, all right, this is the game. This is a game right here. And they got stops. They made timely baskets. And then Klay, as Bully called it last night, called heavy metal, hits the side of the backboard, and it goes in. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe it is their night. And they run away with it.
If I gave you and me, now I'm not saying we're on the same, 2 hours to try to hit that shot.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
Right? In an empty gym.
Wouldn't happen.
I mean, that was an incredible shot. Klay's been playing out of his mind. I have a question for you on Klay, because we were talking about Draymond. I don't know, did you listen to any of Spadoni this morning?
I listened to a lot of Spadoni this morning. I listened to you guys. I listened to Spadoni 5 in the morning. It was up and rolling.
Klay's been great
for show, baby.
It feels like 2 months offensively. Just been absolutely great. Is there, this is going to sound like I'm diminishing Draymond. I'm not trying to diminish Draymond. Is there something to be said for, or is it just coincidence that Klay feels like he's going off right now in terms of carrying the offense and Draymond's out? Or is it too small of a sample size to make any kind of, indications one way or the other?
Well, I heard you talk about the spacing. Is there more spacing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's more spacing because Steph Curry's not there.
No,
Steph Curry is the ultimate gravity puller.
I'm talking about when Dre was on the floor with Klay. No Steph.
If it's Dre and Looney, then everything's congested.
Yeah.
Because you saw Anthony Davis last Thursday say, Draymond, you could shoot it all you want to. Now, Kuminga's a threat offensively. You got to find out where he is cutting. Now, teams are going to allow Kuminga to shoot the three. However, Kuminga's being smart.
I agree.
Kuminga's shot selection last night, taking only 1-3 and letting the game come to him. He's more of a threat offensively, so defenses do have to respect that. They have to play, now Looney, teams are maybe going to sag off of him, but Naz Reid is down there, so I'm not sure if the spacing is there, but Klay knows if he doesn't go off, they will not win.
He's carrying them, B.
He has to have these games.
I'll ask you the question that I posed last night on the internet. You know this team inside and out. He's probably had better in terms of they were 41-13 and he had a 4-week stretch where he went blah, blah. Given the circumstances of who's out, given the circumstances of the season, this feels like it's on the line on every single night, even though we know it's not, but it feels like it. Is this the best stretch of him carrying the offense in his career?
I mean, there's no doubt the numbers back it up. People laugh. It's like, hey, January's never played better. Since the calendar is flipped to 2023, this guy's shooting 44.5% from the three-point line.
That's crazy.
That's 20 games. In 20 games, since the calendar is flipped, Klay Thompson is shooting 44.5% from three.
Yeah.
All right, another 46% from the floor. He's giving you 26, 27 points a game. He's giving you 4 rebounds. He's trying to play defense. Yeah, is he the defender that he was? No, he's not. He's not. He may never get back to that point.
But right now they need their
he's
offense.
Trying. And his offense.
Yeah, they need his offense.
And by the way, Friday night against the Rockets where he scores 42, his fourth 40-point night of the season, this guy did not hit a 2-point field goal. It was all threes.
He was amazing.
All threes. So, and that's the other thing when you look at the Rockets and T-Wolves, it's like, there's no Steph, there's no Wiggins, there's no Draymond. Klay Thompson should be the number one option on the scouting report, and yet he still gets 14 three-point attempts. I don't know what these teams are doing. Anyway, Klay Thompson's playing out of his mind right now. And you know what? The story of Klay Thompson doesn't get enough love.
No, I agree.
It doesn't get enough love. 2 gruesome injuries. Just a year and a month removed from when he came back and made his return. And it was sluggish right off the rip. But for him to play this well, this soon, the 1 foot the jump stop that he has with the pump fake, he's going to the rim, he's dropping dimes. Klay Thompson, I swear to God, and I told Lubman this last night on the way home.
What's that?
I don't want him wearing another uniform for the rest of his career. I don't care what that costs. There's certain guys who belong in a Warriors uniform. There's certain guys who belong in a Niners uniform. There's certain guys who belong in the Giants uniform. I don't want Klay Thompson to leave. He embodies what a Warrior is. First of all, like to come back from those injuries and regain that confidence and shoot the way he's shooting and talking that talk too. He's talking that talk.
He's much
showing
more vocal.
emotionals. He's showing vocal and he's showing vulnerability as well, saying, look, man, mentally it's been a hurdle. It is a hurdle, but he's trying to do one thing. He's trying to do one thing. He's trying to help this team win another championship.
Yeah.
And I could ride with a guy like that all day long, 7 days a week, and twice on Sunday. This guy needs to be a Warrior. So if it's $20 million, $25 million, I don't care. This guy needs to be in a Warriors uniform for the rest of his career.
Well said. I don't have any kind of retort or any issues with any of those things. The guy's carrying them right now. It's impossible to watch the Warriors and right now and say that he's not the best player on the team, willing them to victories. And I don't care. People can say, "Oh, it's the Rockets, it's the Timberwolves." You're fighting for the same slots as the Timberwolves right now. I don't care who's in the lineup, who's not in the lineup. Like I'm not scoffing at any victories. I don't care who they're playing right now. Beggars can't be choosers. He's been amazing, B.